Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Today's whiskey is actually going to be a Moscow Mule pre-made from Simple City Cocktails. And today's Nerd Stuff, we're going to go over a game that I've talked about before, Hack and Slash from Steve Jackson Games. Hack and Slash is a very simple game. It's fun for the family, and I've also realized it's a fun drinking game with friends. And there's different variations to play it. We'll go ahead and stick with the rules as much as possible. Each player would start out with Eat Meeples. You would give the first player the first player card. This will represent another player. You'll have a card that's Brag at the Tavern, and then you pick 3 random cards that are going to be the mission cards that we'll play. The 3 random ones that we had was Restore the Eye of the Idol, Map the Endless Cavern, and Outriddle the Phoenix. So let's go ahead and take a sip. It's not bad. This Simple City Moscow Mule is not too bad. So what'll happen is, you know what? Let's grab the dice. We kind of need that. So as the first player, we'll go ahead and decide what we want to try and go for. In this particular case, we're going to go ahead for Map the Endless Cavern. So we will take 2 meeples. This is representing how many meeples you need to do the mission. And this is what we need to roll with 2 dice. So for each meeple, you're going to get a dice roll. So we need to roll a 6 or higher with these 2 dice. So we'll roll these dice. This was 5. So what will happen is we have 1 or 2 options because we didn't roll a 6 or higher. We can quit the mission there and we will lose these 2 meeples, or we can have 1 come to the rescue and re-roll 1 die. So what we'll do in this particular case, I'm going to have this meeple come to the rescue, and I'm going to re-roll this 1 in the hopes that we can get what we need to get a 6 or higher. Nope, we didn't do it. So we did not get a 6 or higher. So these 3 meeples will basically die, and it'll be player 2's turn. So let's go ahead and take another sip. Player 2 comes along, and they say, hey, I want to try to map the Endless Cavern. So then they will in turn roll 2 dice. And they've got it. So they get their guys back. They will get this card, which is worth 3 points at the end when we do the scoring. And then you would issue a new card, and you'll always have 3. So now it'll be player 1's turn again. I'm going to go ahead and just move this away, and then player 1 can decide what they want to do. Now, these ones is how many extra meeples you're going to get instead of the points. So for this one, I need to do a 6 or higher with 2 dice again. I did not, so this one will come to the rescue and re-roll that. That's higher. We get that back, plus we're going to get an extra meeple for our next turn. Now, we're not going to get points on this for the point scoring, but we did get an extra meeple out of it. Let's go ahead and turn over another card. Let's take a sip. Player 2 is going to come along. They're going to say, hey, we want to escort the princess through hell. They'll shake 2 dice. They got a 6. That's not a 9 or higher. They decide to go ahead and have 1 come for the rescue. They'll re-roll the 4. And then those lost. It'll then turn and pass to the other player again. So you can see how easy this is. So I'm going to go ahead and just say I just want to do this. So I just need a 4, 5, or 6. Got that. Got an extra meeple. And you turn this over. And let's go ahead and take some more of this. What I like about this game is it does have the basic rules that you can play. And then it's very easy to kind of come up with your own rules. And we have a couple different variations of this. Sometimes we'll do more than 3 cards. You know, do 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards. We've even done it with all the cards. And then sometimes we'll say you can re-roll all the dice. But the rules do say re-roll 1 dice. Let's go ahead and fill this up. And I like the game. This is a game where everybody in the family can play. It's very relaxing. There's even a solo version that I've come up with to just play it. And I enjoy it quite a bit. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Sorry about that. That went down the wrong way. Apologies about that. That's what happens when you're talking while you're drinking. It goes down the wrong way. So this one will say, hey, I want to go for Steal the Rock's Eggs. They get to roll 3 dice. And now they need 11 or higher. 8. They'll go ahead and have this person come in for the rescue. They did not get it, so 8, 9, 10. So they lost those guys, and then would go back to player 1. So this goes back and forth for several rounds. And then what happens at the end of the game, what will happen is everybody will add up the cards that have the points. And, this particular player would have 3 points. So let's say I had these 2. And as you go through the different cards, you'll see a lot of these have points. So what can happen is, let's say the game ends. You're adding up the purple. So that'd be 9 points. That would be 8. This person would win. If there's a tie, it would be who has the most meeples or adventurers, and then that person wins the tie. I do really enjoy this game. Like I said, I think it's a really easy game to play. It's a good game to introduce non-gamers into. It's a good game for kids, and what's really good, especially for the younger kids, you're teaching them how to add the dice together. You're kind of even teaching them about statistics and probability. When you get into, what they need, what are the chances of getting a 4, 5, or 6 with a 6-sided dice. And it's one of those things that they find that they're learning math and, addition, probability and all that. And it's really it's a good situation for the kids. You can see how simple the rules are. I mean, this is basically it in a nutshell. Here's everything right here. This is the back of the box. In this quick game, your guild of adventurers is ready for anything: battles, rescues, and the liberation of whatever pays the most. Choose a quest and roll the dice. You may win fame and even recruit a new comrade for your party, or you may fail and slink back to the tavern. Don't fail. Small box. Would like to hear your thoughts and comments on this game. There is another version or expansion of this that came out. I just need to pick that up. Would like to see, again, what your thoughts and comments are on this game. How have you played it? And I do believe on here it says ages 10 and up, but I do think you can play younger on that. How many have turned this into a drinking game? We kind of have a situation, my group, we try to turn everything into a drinking game, but this is a really fun one to play as a drinking game. Before we go out, let's play a quick game. And, it takes, it says 20 minutes, but we can knock through this game in a quick 10 minutes usually. But whoever loses buys the round. Really would appreciate it, like all the comments, likes, all that fun stuff, and your thoughts on this. And if you have other games that are similar to this that you would say are a good introductory game, a good family game, just kind of simple, roll it, not a lot of thought process into it, please make your recommendations in the comment section. And until next time, everybody, cheers.